Welcome back all the fans and followers of space fiction. In several sci-fi movies and some computer games, you may have encountered a portal that was used to move from one place to another or to travel around the universe. But how realistic is this idea? Is such a thing really possible at all? And if so, what would such a portal actually look like? The current idea of writers and artists is the depiction of the portal as a window to another space. In reality, however, the portal would never look like this. Let's look at why. First, let's explain the difference between a portal and a teleport. Teleport usually works on the idea that the content of one space is read by a special device, converted into energy, sent, and the receiving device writes the received information into space and materializes it again. This transmission is realized in an instant and probably by the speed of light. In contrast, the portal works more on the principle of a wormhole, where one space is remotely connected to a distant space. There is a direct connection and constant interaction between these spaces. Objects and matter are passing through it smoothly. Portals are sometimes designed as two-way, sometimes as one-way devices. The teleport, on the other hand, is mostly one-way device. In some portals it is visible what is on the other side, in some it is necessary to pass through a separating layer that has its own surface. So far, portals and wormholes have been imagined by writers, illustrators and filmmakers. So let's see where they are wrong. If we connect two different spaces with a portal, we will also connect their environments and all the physical forces that act in a given environment. But in reality, it would be almost unrealistic to hit the same orientation of spaces in this connection. Theoretically, it would be possible for short distances, from room to room, from town to neighboring town. But we must realize that if we move ourselves from one continent to another, our mutual orientation in space will be different, not to mention the interconnection of two different planets. Although the portal itself would be opened in both places by some device, there is no way to determine where it is down and where it is up, because it doesn't matter in space. And there is another problem with the correct orientation. If you don't hit the same orientation, the same confusion will occur with gravity. Gravity can't be just turned off suddenly because it has the greatest reach of all the forces in the universe. By opening the portal between two worlds, the gravitational fields of both worlds will be connected too. In practice, this could mean, for example, that the portal heading from Earth to a spaceship will create a gravitational field around the spacecraft and begin to attract objects from close environment. Have you ever had a wind inside the house? Do you know what caused it? When the wind blows outside, it creates more pressure on one side of the house than on another. When the window is opened, the air pressure tries to balance and the air starts to flow. Even on Earth, there are different air pressures in different distant places which cause changes in the weather. Opening the portal between such two places could lead to strong winds up to the strength of the hurricane. It depends on how big the pressure difference is. And what would happen if we opened a portal between the Earth and the empty universe? It will suck our whole atmosphere away forever. Or worse, if we opened the portal between Earth and Venus, the strong air pressure on this planet would destroy our atmosphere and completely replace it with the atmosphere of Venus. Have you ever wondered what would you see from the other side of the portal? You cannot see our space there because all the light from our space passes into the second space after the portal is opened. there can be no darkness, because even darkness needs to be in some space. In fact, when looking at the portal from the other side, you should see the same portal while looking at the other world from the opposite side. If we are imaging the portal as a big window, have you ever wondered what is actually on its edge? You cannot just cut the space. If there are extremes in space, there is always a smooth transition from one space to another, otherwise the space would be unstable. A portal with an edge is therefore a very unrealistic idea. And if we work with the idea of a wormhole, then a much more realistic concept of the portal would be a sphere. The portal is not a two-dimensional area that can be entered, but a three-dimensional space that connects two worlds. And why did we actually get to the shape of a sphere? Because that's how the idea of a wormhole, described in 1935 by Albert Einstein and Nathan Rosen, came into being. This was due to the curvature of the space with a very heavy body similar to the black hole. So if we really want to work with the portal, we would have to make a black hole first and then jump into it. However, every physicist will tell you very quickly what would be left of you. In fact, nothing. You would turn yourself into an energy. Safe passage through a wormhole, if one exists somewhere, is therefore very unrealistic. In fantastic movies, you could see your heroes fly through a tunnel as they pass through a wormhole, and it takes them some time. This idea is also very far from reality. If one black hole merged with another and the wormhole is formed, the real distance for the observer would be zero. The representation of space-time does not need to be confused with real space. The curved space-time, which is relatively long due to gravity, actually represents a much shorter distance for the observer. And with extreme changes in space-time, we can only see a very small, even zero distance. It is therefore only a schematic representation of this phenomenon, which was misinterpreted by the filmmakers. And now we are finally getting to the root of the wormhole problem. If on the one side we have a black hole into which something falls and never returns, we cannot have the same type of black hole on the other side. Otherwise there would be no exit from this tunnel. We would need a white hole for the exit, which would be the complete opposite of the black hole. It would have negative gravity, it would repel everything from itself, and therefore it could emit energy that had previously fallen into a black hole on the other side. So the wormhole is actually just a one-way portal. If you wanted to return, you would have to switch the black hole into the white hole and vice versa. And believe me, that would make a much bigger mess in the universe than snapping Thanos' fingers. So let me know if you do still think that it will be possible to create a portal to transport people from one place to another. I hope I didn't express myself too scientifically here, so you could easily understand me. If you have a different opinion of any of the problems with portals and wormholes, or you don't understand something, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click like and subscribe button if you want to see other amazing videos from the world of space fiction.